Midas. I don't even know if Midas was active when Electric Circuit was being used in the professional scene. But PianO certainly has a lot more experience, I think, on both maps, in fact, given his practice regime. Anyway, looks like we're going straight into game number 2 here. It is Neo Electric Circuit. And, oh, Hyde is asking people, yeah, everyone go vote in the live report thread for what you thought the game rating was. Give it 5 stars, 4 stars, whatever. Yes, and then that will be helpful for people looking for recommended games to watch. So, I assume we are going to go with same colors, which means PianO is yellow once again at the top left of the map, and his opponent, Midas, will be the red Terran at the bottom right. I think Sonic generally keeps the colors the same to avoid confusion, especially in a mirror matchup. So yeah, we are cross positions now, which means could easily see a split map, long split map game. Although that's that feels a little bit early to me. Is that early? Is he doing something crazy here? Am I just bad? No, I'm not bad. He is doing something crazy. All right, whew! Thank goodness. All right, what is PianO doing now? Keep in mind, PianO is apparently sick, and in his interview did say he wanted to just do some quick games and go home. So, well, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna have the one proxy racks at the right side here. Now basically, this is one of those situations where you proxy in a location that's like, you know, in 2/3 of the situations his opponent will be on the right side of the map, in which case this barracks will be closer to his opponent, but in 1/3 of the cases his opponent will be bottom left, in which case the distance is like not that close. But hey, 2/3 chance is pretty good. It's pretty good. Anyway, but you know, 1 racks, 4 A racks generally isn't gonna kill your opponent outright. So, you know, you may just go and do a bit of poking around, but I don't really see this being too much of an issue for Midas as long as he doesn't just freak out. Especially given how strong SCVs are against Marines. An SCV actually beats a Marine 1 versus 1. If the Marine isn't microed. I think even if the Marine is, like, if neither unit is microed, the SCV will beat the Marine. If both units are microed, I think the SCV still beats the Marine. The Marine only wins if the Marine's microed and the SCV isn't microed. Of course, you know, if you actually get a decent number of Marines, then the Marines are better, but, like, in these early game situations, it's actually, SCVs are pretty damn strong. Anyway, Mariner, come in here, and Midas is now all, that's a pretty fast Marine. It's only 1 though. You can see how Midas really doesn't care that much. He's just like, alright, I'm gonna just pull a couple SCVs. It's no bigs. No big deal. Looks like we have a couple SCVs from PianO as well. That's fine. It's all standard. It's all expected. Alright, here we go. Now it's down to some fine unit control here. Oh, we're actually having a bunker rush. Alright, he's gonna rush it. I think Midas would probably just pull like 3 more SCVs and just completely kill this off, and then he was not gonna have to worry about it. I think if he tries to get too fancy and not pull so many units and that bunker finishes, he could actually be in trouble. Or he could just like have not as good micro as PianO, in which case he would also be in trouble. Oh, oh, oh no! Oh no! 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 Midas, bro. See, this is why you've got to play micro tournament UMS, man. See, if he had played more micro tournament, he would have been able to win that. But he didn't. So, he didn't. But he's okay still. See? By the way, I just want to point out that I'm pretty sure SCVs got more Marine kills than Marines did in there. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm not really sure who came out ahead there, because even though I think PianO killed like more SCVs, he did pull a really early SCV and go for the proxy racks, so that cost him, you know, some economy at the beginning as well. So I don't think he necessarily is really far ahead, or even ahead at all. We can see a Vulture is out for Midas now. Pulling out here, I see. Kim Carey apparently said this is a pride battle. I think that's actually a very apt way to describe it. That little skirmish would in no way, shape, or form end the game, but it's just one of those things in the early game. It's kind of like, you know, if you lose your initial scouting worker in a stupid fashion, it just bugs you for like the next 5 minutes. You're just like really annoyed. It's just like one of those things, you know. It doesn't actually matter, but if you had worse micro, it just kind of pisses you off a little bit. Anyway, we got some vultures out for PianO as well. Intercept the scouting SCV, although not before it gets a look at the factory count and the machine shop. This is slightly problematic though. Midas needs to immediately be running these away and pulling SCVs. I don't know why he's just standing and fighting. I guess because it was already too late. By the time the vultures were that close, they could just do move and shoot. So even if he ran the vulture away, it probably wouldn't help. But he's got a tank now, so actually it looks like things are going to be okay for the time being. Although this vulture is going to scoot around the side, get a couple of kills. Wow, he's got 3 kills already. That's a pretty badass vulture. But he's going back. Alright, sweet. Although, ooh, it looks like the SCV killing the command center was, or rather building the command center was killed. So that's going to be like that a little bit. It's going to be a bit annoying, but of course, tanks can take on a large number of vultures. So, yeah, Midas is going to be just fine here. But I think, you know, his command center is delayed a little bit. You know, he lost a couple more SCVs to those vultures. I think, you know, even though each of these engagements so far hasn't by itself been a huge deal, just small little victories like this do add up over time. So, you know, PianO I think has gotten the better of Midas in both of these little engagements so far. So he's definitely putting himself in a good position. And also, it's not just a matter of the actual like mineral cost of the units that you lose. I mean, I'm sure Midas is probably getting a little bit frustrated because he's the one that's constantly having to defend. You know, Midas, PianO is the one constantly just sending random units in and killing his stuff. So it's also just psychologically, I think, going to be a little bit annoying. In the meantime, I think both players going up to 3 factories here. PianO with 2 machine shops already, Midas with just the 1. And another difference here is the scouting barracks you can see from PianO, because he did proxy that, so he was able to just float it over here and provide himself some vision. There's basically no anti-air for Midas, so he's not able to ward away this barracks. And oh my god, we're having a lot of speed vultures come down here. Do they actually have mines? If they have mines, they can mine surround the siege tank. Oh man, this could be absolutely brutal. Are they going to go for it? They're actually just fighting here. I don't think that's a good choice. That tank is going to do way more damage than they can do. There are the mines. They're definitely a little bit late here. This was not the best execution by PianO. However, he is still having 4 vultures left over, and oh, he's walled off the natural from the main base here. He's landed his barracks, so the vultures can't get in, the SCVs can't get out. Oh my god, what a sick move by PianO. No, it looks like the SCVs can get out. They were just a little bit confused. I did not think that would be an SCV-type wall. That didn't make any sense. It looks like the pathing was just slightly strange, so the SCVs ran around in a circle. Meanwhile, the vultures are just completely stuck. Oh man, this is awesome. See, these are Brood War style force fields, guys. That's how we do it. Just think of building there. Oh man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright, so we're now having a counterattack from Midas, but this is really interesting. So this is essentially turned into a mass vulture battle. See, normally in TBT, right, the composition is Goliath, tank, Wraith, dropship, you know, those big heavy gas units. However, if one player decides to go for Mass Vulture in the early game, the other player is forced to respond with Mass Vulture. If one guy goes Mass Vulture and you don't Mass Vultures yourself, you will almost certainly lose in the early game engagements. Because even though tanks by themselves can take on a good... Man, that is not a good position for Midas. He's getting all his Vultures stacked up by these SCVs. Really nice SCV drilling by PianO there to help win that engagement. But the thing is, in very low numbers of tanks, the vultures will just easily surround and kill you with spider mines. So it's actually quite crucial to match your opponent's vulture count first and then slowly build up the tank and Goliath count until it becomes a more quote-unquote standard late game composition. But the early composition, you must match your opponent's vultures or you just cannot survive. And so you get these really fast pace. I mean, look at this. Speed vultures are the fastest unit in the game, even faster than all air units, right? So you get these really crazy fast-paced mass vulture battles. I mean, look at this. This is like Fast and the Furious Brood War style, right? These crazy biker guys going all over the place. Uh-oh. Looks like the SEV control of Midas is not quite as good, and he's in a bit of trouble. He has made one siege tank, but that by itself is not really going to help out too much. And here we go. Oh, it looks like, though, most of the vultures did run out, but here we go. A lot more vultures coming across the map. Of course, vultures do not trigger spider mines, so even though there were a bunch of spider mines from Midas there in the middle of the map, they did not trigger on vultures. There are a few units that don't trigger spider mines. Archons, for example, also. I think the logic is that Archons and vultures don't actually walk on the ground, they hover. Anyway, GG from Midas. Could not stop the onslaught of PianO's vultures there. I think partially making that tank did not help, but PianO evens up the score here. We are now 1-1. We're going to a deciding game 3 on Fighting Spirit. And this is really, really cool. So both best of 3 so far have gone to the third and deciding games. Just goes to show the level of these guys is pretty close. These are pretty intense series. Midas, I gotta say, really making a good account of himself here. Did not really expect him to be able to stand up to PianO. I don't know if that's partially because PianO's actually sick. Maybe he's not, you know, in the best shape.